Perspectives is a 15-week class that can change your life. It's 15 weeks of being exposed to a different instructor each week. And these instructors have special expertise and passion for their subject area for that week.
So you come and you hear the lecture, participate in discussion, you have some reviews to do after class, and you come back the next week with your review completed and have a new instructor.
Perspectives is for anybody that is a believer in Jesus Christ. And the reason that we can say that is, again, because throughout the class, it helps us to understand the heart, the passion, the purposes of God.
But one of the things that I've gotten out of perspective is how to view people in different ways and not look at them from my own viewpoint, but we've learned how to have a world view.
Sometimes people come and they just kind of have a viewpoint that missions is for special people and that maybe they don't know quite how they fit into that. And I think that Perspectives opens our eyes to see that we all have a part in God's plan.
I took Perspectives because I really just wanted to get a deeper understanding of really what God was doing around the world currently. And also I've heard it was a really great in-depth overview of what God has been doing throughout history through different people, missionaries, people groups.
Missionaries should take Perspectives before they go overseas because it helps you get a good solid foundation of just the perspective of God, the heart of God for the world and for cultures and how to begin to understand how we communicate cross-culturally, how to begin to understand how do we devise ways and strategies that we can communicate the gospel most effectively.
This would be the best thing that you could do is to take Perspective. For ministry, we are pastors as well, and it has helped us to have a different view of our members and the different cultures. So I would say taking Perspective will broaden the horizon to so many other different areas in ministry other than mission.
Having been on the mission field already for like 15 years, I sort of thought there wasn't anything, that I could learn from it. But when I took the course, what I found out was that I should have had the course a long time ago.
The thing that I've learned the most out of this course has just been God's purpose throughout all the scriptures and seeing how He's a missional God, and like all the scriptures prove that. I don't know, I guess I never really saw God as a missional God through the scriptures before this, so getting to see that was really cool.
One of the aha moments that students almost always have is, I never really saw that God's plan was for the world from the book of Genesis. Seeing that and understanding that God's plan for the nations wasn't just something that He said in Matthew, the last chapter before He went back to heaven, but that was a reinforcement of something that He had been saying, that God had been saying since the book of Genesis. Some of the feedback that we're getting from students in this class is that it's changed my life. I mean, that this is an awesome class.
The thing that grabbed me about Perspectives was that for the first time, I saw the thing as one big picture. I saw what God was up to. I saw what He had put in His Word for us to understand. I saw what He'd been doing throughout human history. For the first time, it all came together for me. Not a whole bunch of disjointed stories and verses and everything, but one overarching purpose of a passionate missionary God.
It is a college level class, so it takes an investment, but it'll be well worth the time you put into it for what you get out of it.
What has stood out for me in the classes is the fact that this is like a Bible college all rolled up in several weeks. To look at the world through the eyes of God and through the eyes of a missionary, something that I have taken for granted over the years. So to be able to look at a missionary's heart as well as God's heart through this class has really opened up a whole new world.
a lot of people say it ruins you for the ordinary.
If you're thinking about doing this class but haven't yet decided, I would say go ahead and do it. That it would be great because God teaches so much through this, and there are so many great lessons just in ministry and what God's done throughout history through missions and the importance of missions that is great for everyone to learn.